Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Sold Sign Real Estate Unplugged. We are your hosts and favorite realtors, Lauren
and Naya.
And we just want to say again, thank you guys for joining us for another week. We appreciate all of our new followers and subscribers. So again, thank you. So, we normally come on here and give y'all some crazy stories or just any stories. So today is no different. But this time we are going to give you guys a story about us. We figure y'all have been watching us for the past 3-4 months and y'all really don't know much about us and kind of our background and how we even got started in the real estate world, podcasts, and what we're doing. So we just wanted to give y'all some information. Some background information on us. And let's get started.
Yes.
So, I don't know. Do you want to start or should I start?
You start.
All right, I'll start. Okay, so the first one is kind of like where are we from? So I am from South Jersey, right outside of Philly. That is where I was born and raised. And I moved to the Maryland area in 2011. And I'll tell you why in a second.
And coincidentally, I am also from South Jersey, right outside of Philly. That's also where I grew up. And I moved to Maryland in 2016. Yeah. Wow.
That's crazy.
I know.
And we are, okay, so just for perspective, so I'm 37.
I'm 29.
29. Okay, just so y'all know kind of what our age is. Did y'all know that? How old y'all think
30
we were?
this year.
You'll be 30 this year.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good year. 30s are lit. I thought 20s were lit, but 30 is like, I'm like loving. I love it here, so I think you will too.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so you got here in 2016. I got here in 2011. All right, what college did you go to?
I went to St. Aug in Raleigh, North Carolina, and then I came to Maryland in 2016 because I was starting grad school at the University of Maryland, College Park. So that's why I moved to Maryland in 2016.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right after college, I just went like straight through.
That makes sense. And I went to University of Maryland, Eastern Shore in Maryland. And that is how I got here to Maryland. I was at college from 2008 or 2004 to 2008 was college. Yeah. And then I actually came back to Jersey for a year, came like looking for like jobs and everything. And then finally in 2011, I moved back. I moved to Maryland and got a job. I was like on the buses, like Megabus. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Megabus is still around, but going like when I went back home to Jersey after graduation, after college, I wanted a job. I wanted to work for like DC government or at least like federal government. So instead of driving back and forth to DC, I would like sometimes catch the bus, go on the interview, and then I would come right back that same day and be like, okay, well, I did my interview and I go right back home to my parents' house where it was free.
Right.
So.
Okay.
And I went to, I did grad school at Strayer in DC, which is another reason why I was like, okay, well, since I'm here, I'm moving to Maryland, I will also do grad school. And I did grad school there.
Did you do a 2-year program?
I did. Okay. Yep. In finance. So that's where I got my, I don't even know if Strayer's still around.
I did not know your master's degree was in finance.
Yeah. I love the numbers. I swear.
OMG, you do. This is wow. This is making sense. I learned something new about you.
It was in finance. What was yours?
Mine was in public policy. So with the specialization in education policy. I love education.
See, something we did not know about each other. We learned a lot. Okay, so then how exactly did you get to Maryland? Like, did you apply? Like, where were you before you came?
Because my undergrad school was in North Carolina. And so, in that last semester of college, I'm like figuring out what I wanted to do, of course. I was actually applying for like dual degree programs because I thought that I wanted to do law school. But I knew, so it was like I thought I wanted to do it, but I also knew that I didn't really want to do it. It was like a maybe. I felt like it's maybe what I like was what other people wanted me to do, or like people would assume that I would do.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, maybe. So I was applying to dual degree programs. So like law, I was applying to law schools and then programs that had like a joint master's with the law degree.
Oh, that makes
because it kind of gave me a sense of like, we gonna do both of these or we gonna do one of these and we're just gonna see. I knew that I still like wanted to go on to the next degree and do something. Like I didn't want to go straight into the workforce yet, but like looking back, I'm like, I totally could have done that and then gone back to school later, but I also don't regret going straight into grad school. So
finishing it.
Yeah, but I was applying to different, schools. I applied to, I think, a few in DC and Maryland. I feel like I maybe applied to like one in Georgia. I think I applied to like Georgia State or was like looking at it, but Maryland, I feel like I for sure wanted to be in because it was like middle ground between back home and like not being far from North Carolina, which was home for like the last 4 years of college. True. So it felt like a good in between.
Yeah, and where you could drive to both, that's pretty dope. Yeah. And then that came about in 2016. And then was that a 2-year program?
Yeah.
That you were
2 years. Yep. So I was done in 2018 and then started working at a nonprofit in DC.
Oh. Yeah. And that was just 2018. That was like not long ago at all.
I know. That's crazy.
And then I ended up kind of how I got to Maryland. One of the interviews that I went on after catching the megabus back and forth, I ended up getting a call with from a like, I don't want to call it a headhunter, but what's it called, like a staffing agency.
Yes.
Like, so it was an all women staffing agency in DC. Shout out to The Choice because they are still in business and absolutely love them. I got a call on a Friday around like 2 p.m. that afternoon. I was in Jersey still, and I got a call and they were like, hey, we have a job for you. Can you be here Monday morning?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, I can. I had nowhere to go, y'all. Yeah. Like, I was not staying anywhere. Me and my god sister, we were moving together, but at that time, like, she didn't have a job either. So we're both like in Jersey just trying to figure it out.
So you knew that you were just gonna go ahead and move to Maryland, even though you necessarily didn't know what job you were going to be at yet, or like you just knew as soon as you get the job, like you would be ready to move at that point. Okay,
that's exactly what we did because I was like, okay, as soon as I get a job, we will move. And I had a cousin that lives in DC, and I'm so appreciative of her because we called her up and I said, hey, I got a position, in DC. Is there any way I can come stay with you for like a week? I just needed a week. And she was like, absolutely. Let me come there, stay with her for a week while I got an apartment because I had the job.
It only took a week to get that apartment.
It took a week. Yep.
Nice.
Because shout out to y'all. Shout out to the Enclave of Silver Spring and to the sales rep. Yes.
That's where you stayed?
Yes. Because when I tell you the sales rep looked out for us, y'all, it was like an older black lady. And she saw me and my god sister come in and she was like, I got y'all. Don't you worry about it. And she made sure we got into our apartment and she was a blessing to us. I felt like everybody along the way as we were going and we were moving to the area, like really just, I don't know. It was just like a blessing. Everybody just was opening the doors for us. And it was like, so I'm so appreciative of y'all. Really. Wow. I really, really appreciate it. So thank you. And at that point, I was like, yeah, I'll come down. And it was a temporary position. I was working at Georgetown University in their stewardship department. And that was in 2011. And I was only there for maybe like 3 months that day, like when the 3 months was up. I didn't know how long the position was going to last, but the lady came to me, my manager at the time came to me and was like, hey, Lauren, I'm sorry, but this is like, this is going to be your last day.
She told you on that day that was going to be your last
She told me, right, that it was going to be my last day. So then I was like, okay. She was like, but don't worry, your staffing agency already knows, and I think they're already lining up another position for you. So I was like, okay. When I tell you, that manager coming to tell me that I had lost that job and the job that I gained after that was nothing short of a blessing. Like when I say God opened up those doors, because he was like, oh no, we're going to close this door. You don't belong here. We're going to put you somewhere else. And I got a job within the federal government with the federal judiciary on Capitol Hill. That I was working there that next week. And it was only supposed to be a temporary position. I was there for about 4 weeks and the job had closed for me to apply so I could maybe have like a permanent position. when I tell you they opened it up for me and I got it, they was like, you're already here. You're doing the job. You're good at it. And I got it full-time position. I was 24 in 2011. And I got that job.
Wow.
And I was there for a long time. And I was there until I left doing real estate.
Wow.
Yeah. And I love that job. I love the people there. They were great. But, you know, at some point you do have to realize, you know, when it's time to, you know, walk away or when your season's just up in a position or, you know, and unfortunately it just was at that time. So
that is so cool.
That's how I got there. So like what jobs did you or do you have like as you're still here?
So when I graduated grad school, I started working at a nonprofit in DC that's works in education. So supporting teen parents who are getting their college degrees. And there was also a kindergarten readiness program for the scholars that have children like 5 and younger. So that involved like doing home visits and like there's a curriculum called Parents as Teachers. So like working with them on parenting skills, getting their children reading and just like doing things like that. So the students got like a scholarship, a mentor, and then of course, you know, we did programming and activities and provided resources and all the things to just like help them be successful and like eliminate any barriers that they were facing in getting their college degree. Because like, you know, once you do that, you're able to open up, you know, so many more opportunities and doors for you and your children. So yeah, I loved working there. Yeah.
That was in DC?
That was in DC. And we served, you know, students who were in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So they went to all the local like community colleges in the DMV and like 4-year universities in the DMV.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a really, really great organization started by like a teen mom and it just, you know, expanded. And they recently just expanded to outside of DC to New Orleans now. So yeah, they're growing. They're doing really well. I'm still connected.
From a teen mom?
Yeah.
I love that.
And I'm still like really connected to a lot of the scholars that I had worked with over time. And one of them actually maybe a month or 2 ago now, called me asking me a bunch of questions about buying a home this year. So I hope that she'll be one of my home buyers this year.
See, look at that full circle.
I know. How that I'm gonna be so excited for her.
I love that.
But yeah, after that, I worked in DC at a charter school. And then now I'm working in higher education, still doing like student success programs and stuff like that. And I also teach online. So I really love education and community while also building real estate. And for me, like it all goes together.
Yeah.
So
it does. Okay. So what age and what year did you get your license? And then why?
What age was I?
At that time, why did you feel like at that time that was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get my real estate license?
Okay, so however old I was in 2020, that was 4 years ago. So I was like 25.
I need to think about how old I was.
I'm like, yeah. So I guess I was 24, 25 or 25, 26, whatever. One of those ages back in 2020, I started studying for my real estate license in like the fall, like October-ish.
During COVID.
During COVID, yeah, like so late 2020 during that year of COVID. But I feel like when I was like maybe early in college, my dad one time was like, you should look into like being a real estate agent. Like, you know, it'd be a nice additional income, like additional stream of income. You know, you could do it however you like to, part-time, you know, here and there, full-time, whatever. I was like, okay, yeah, cool. Like, and like didn't really look into it at that time. I think I was like in college, so like that wasn't like on the forefront of my mind. But it was like, yeah, maybe that's something I could do later. But when I was in grad school, I don't know how like I came across it, but at some point I became really interested in like doing my own research on real estate investing, like as a way to build wealth. I was probably just looking at how to build wealth, like, you know, and just like coming across stuff. And I started looking at like real estate investing. But I was like, well, I'm not about to be I'm not about to be out here calling contractors, like being a house flipper or like asking for these loans and stuff by myself. Like I was clearly understanding like the YouTube videos and the books I was reading. And like, I was clearly understanding the steps that they were saying, 1, 2, 3, A through Z of what to do. But I was just I'm like, nah, I can't do it. I'm like, I see clearly what you're saying to do. I see you doing it and it looks rather good. You doing it pretty well. Looks like it's doable. But I just was like, picking up this phone, like cold call, like whatever it was, wholesaling. Like I was like, wow, these really do seem like some like great lucrative real estate investing like options. So I was like, I don't know. I don't think I could pick up that phone and like do this on my own. So that was like in that 2018-ish era when I was like in grad school, finishing grad school. Like I knew that, okay, real estate investing is something I want to do. And then I guess at some point later on in 2020, I was just like, well, why don't I just go ahead and get my license?
Yeah.
Because I felt like, well, if I become a real estate agent, I can really learn. Like, you know, learning from that side of the field, I can get comfortable with people, with the language, like with navigating sales and just like just being an open book to learn, but while also helping people with, you know, a really important achievement and building wealth by just getting a home in the first place. Yeah. So I was like, okay, let me get my license. Let me go from there. And then I know that I can build myself up to get comfortable to be an investor one day. So
I love that.
Yeah, that was it for me.
That was a good reason to do it too, because not just like being an investor, right? Just like putting your money towards something, but actually learning behind the scenes of it, and then you can become your own investor. Yes, especially exactly. You're a real estate agent, you could do all the deals
I've learned
on your
so
own.
Much now. Yeah,
which is great. I'm like, yes. Let me see. When did I got mine in 2019, so I was 32. Got mine in 2019, and I decided 3 months before my wedding that I was planning that I want to go ahead and get my license. My son at the time was like 1.5 years, and I was like, I think I'm gonna go get my real estate license. My husband is like, what? Okay, go for it. So I go for it, and then I took the test and got my license in April, and that was April 19th. I got my license, and then we had got married May 26th. So it was like that 3 months was crazy. Yeah. But I did it like a fast. So it was only like I think it was a 6 or 7 week course.
Did you do yours online? Oh, in person.
In person. Because it was right before COVID.
You did yours in person. Yeah. I did mine online. And so, I forgot to say when I got it. I had started studying like slowly, and then I picked it up because I did a self-paced online course. And then I took my like final exam from the course in February 15th, and then 2021, and then I took I think it was like March 1st of 2021, but I got my license in March of 2021, whatever the date is. Yeah.
And, you had to take your like the class test.
Yeah,
like
the class test, and then
yeah, so 2 tests, y'all gotta pass those tests, I swear. But then once you pass it, like you're good. You don't have to worry about it again, except your CE, which is good. And then people ask, like, why did you decide at that one time when you were getting married, like, why did you feel like, right, why did you feel like you wanted to get it? And I was just like, why not? I felt like a lot of the stuff, honestly, was done for the wedding. And why not? Why not take 6 weeks and just go ahead and knock it out? And it was perfect timing. And to do it right in April, right before, summer market hit. And then I had joined the team. So, it was all of that. But I thought it was very hard to get my license. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a test taker. The class was easy. The test, y'all, I don't know how I passed that test first go around. I don't know. I passed it the first time, and I can tell you, like flashcards. If y'all
I did the same thing. Yeah, and I passed everything the first time.
Yeah. So flashcards, y'all.
I don't have any other tip but to use your flashcards. Yes. I wrote when I tell you a stat. Yeah, I wrote every term, even if it wasn't like something that was like a quote unquote term, but it was something I needed to know. I made some way to make it into a flashcard so that I knew that thing, whether it was like a long phrase, whether it was a formula, whether it was like, if this happens, you do this. whatever it was, I made it into a flashcard. And I'm telling you, I had rubber bands around a stack of flashcards, but it worked. I passed the course exam first time. And the real national and state exam first time as well, flying colors. And it was just the flashcards, I guess.
Yes, because you know, like the definition.
Yeah.
If you know what everything means, then you can really easily plug it in, and you can be like, oh, I know what this means. So, y'all, flashcard. If you try and get your real estate license, we tell you that's exactly what I tell people when they ask, like, what would you flashcards? Don't ask me nothing else.
That's really all.
So if they sell them, I don't know if they sell them now on somewhere, Amazon, whatever. But I'm telling y'all, if you create them, buy them,
yes,
just do it.
I would say create them your own, because writing it yourself helps you like know and think about it as you're writing it. That's true. But also, in addition to flashcards, practice tests. But that was the bread and butter. Those two things literally is it.
That is true.
Flashcards and practice tests over and over. And like for me, I was like, this is like serious, real deal. Like I was off social media for that. Like I feel like because I took the final exam in February, so at least from like February to March, or maybe January to March, like I cut out the social media distractions so that I was like using any time that I wasn't at work to like seriously study. So like, I don't know, I feel like different people have to do different things, but for me, I didn't want to like have a reason, like if I didn't pass it, like I didn't want to have like a reason why I didn't pass it because of like distractions or something. Like I wanted to know that like, dang, I really studied and like really did my absolute best using and maximizing my time wisely. And like at that point, if I still didn't pass it, like that was cool. I knew I really gave it all. But like if I was on social media every day or like whatever your distraction is, and I know I wasn't studying like with the max of my time, and then I didn't pass it, then I'd be like, well, that's why you didn't pass it.
Exactly. It's your fault. Okay. That's exactly why you did it. Do you feel like you're using like anything that you learned
with all those flashcards?
Right.
No.
I'm using like two things, like easement, y'all. I was
just about to say latent defects, easement, and that's about it. Literally.
Yeah.
Everything else is so crazy because literally, and they say this, everybody will say this.
Yeah.
You don't learn anything till you're in the field. Yeah. Which is like also very scary.
It is. But it's like by like what is it? Trial and error.
Trial and error.
So yeah, until you get out there, I mean that's the only way you go. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you don't know what you don't know until you come across it and you don't know it, and now you need to figure it out.
Right, because the class is like to make sure you do not get in trouble, like you don't get fined, right? They're doing things so that you know certain things, and they're giving you like the law, what you know this is, but to actually sell a home, to teach you how to sell a home and actually like be out there and building the relationships, the class just doesn't do it. Right. So
because you're not doing marketing and relationship building and stuff like that in the class.
Exactly. Okay, so we'll wrap this up in a few minutes, but like, how did we kind of start the team, the podcast and brokerage? Because I know I get this question a lot: is how do you know which brokerage to choose when you first get your real estate license? I went on a few interviews. I did my class with Coldwell Banker when I did my real estate course. That's just who I went through. But once I passed the course, I did interview with them, and I interviewed with 3 other brokerages, and I decided to join Keller Williams for my first year and a half in real estate. And then once my business grew and I felt like I was growing a lot more, I did decide to switch over, and now I am with Compass, which I absolutely love just because of the high level that we are able to offer our clients.
For me, I interviewed with 2. I picked one. I never know how to really talk about this. So I got my license in March, and I interviewed / joined with a brokerage in like June. Do not recommend for a new agent.
Okay.
Now they probably important. Yeah. So they probably, I still think they're probably a great brokerage, and like, and I like the benefits that were told to me, offered, sold, told to me, whatever. But I didn't have like the new agent experience that I, needed as a new agent. So literally didn't do anything with them. And reached out to Lauren, like, and you told me to check out your brokerage that you were with at the time. But I was like, I interviewed so-and-so. Like, I'm going to go with so-and-so.
I was like, okay, cool.
But yeah, you were like, you know, obviously, yeah,
go
do
who you want.
what you want to do.
Yeah.
But when that didn't work out, I said, let me go ahead over here with Lauren. So I did that with Keller Williams for like my first year. But that was like from September of 2021. Because like in that time of doing nothing with the other brokerage, time is just passing. I missed that. I missed that hot summer market messing around.
It was 6 months, see?
But yeah, so got started with Keller Williams in that September 2021. And then when you went to Compass, went ahead to Compass with
we
you.
went ahead and we got a nice little team together.
Yeah.
And yeah, Compass has been great.
It has.
We also have another agent on our team. Shout out to Tam. So we do have a really I wouldn't say small but very mighty team that we have at Compass. And then the last thing is kind of like, do you own any real estate?
Yes.
Y'all be asking that too. Y'all real estate agents, but do y'all actually own real estate? We gonna answer it for you.
I do. I own one real estate property right now, but my goal is, like, as I was sharing, to own more property and be an investor. So,
and we're gonna do something together.
Yeah,
too.
no, we talk about it all the time. We have to.
We're gonna do something, and for the team, because we just feel like it's worth it, especially like in Baltimore, like in the area that we're in anyway. So, and I do own real estate too. Stuff. I purchased our first home in 2016. That is now a rental property. It's been a rental property since COVID. And then we built a home in 2020 right during COVID because the interest rates all were like 3%. Yes. So we just could not pass it up. So yes, so we own 2 properties and hopefully we will be owning more soon. Yeah. So yeah. That's a little bit about us. So we hope y'all got some information and a little background about us and kind of how we came about, how we got into real estate. So if y'all have any questions or y'all kind of on the same, path or trajectory, just let us know. We're happy to answer any questions that you may have or break down our story a little bit more. So yeah.
Yes. So thank you all for joining. If you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure that you do that. You can also find us on TikTok and Instagram and share it with your friends. We love the support that we're getting. So we are looking forward to seeing you all next episode.